my fellow Verasians. Simon here from the world of Wall Street. I hope you're doing fantastically well wherever you are in the world. Very quick update here on Verasity. Some nice movements in the last 24 hours. We'll take a look at that in a second. But first of all, let's just pinpoint a few quick updates from Verasity. First things first, with approximately 70 million crypto wallets in existence. The entire crypto community is not even 1/3 of all esports viewers. So of course, this is a massive market for Verasity to be working on the viewership. We've covered Verasity many times, including an intro video as to their application in regards to making sure that there are no fraudulent views, there are no bot views, and that companies on the bigger scales are not losing out on potential revenue. And that goes for as well revenues for play to earners, gamers, esport players, tournament players. All of this aspect is something that Verasity is looking to protect, as well as NFTs. So they believe 276 million esports viewers by 2022, which is absolutely phenomenal. To be fair, I've done many gaming videos already around crypto. The numbers are staggering in esports. You can get multi millions of people watching just a singular tournament. Prize money is in the millions of dollars. It's a really massive market, and it needs protection. It needs protection for the players, and it needs protection for the companies that rely on viewership and particularly regulated and validated viewership. Okay, so they go into many details all over the place about fraudulent views. Proof of view is, of course, one of the big patents that they've just kicked in. They're doing similar for NFTs as well to ensure that NFTs are both credible, validated, and not stinging people at the consumer end to maybe potentially buy something that's fake or not real or not genuine. All of these great things that Verasity are doing that's so unique. To have 2 patents, okay, is absolutely gigantic. The first patent is 17 years. No one else can replicate the proof of view consensus. This new NFT one, I'm not sure the longevity of it, but to have that as a patent, think about that. Think how much you're hearing about NFTs right now, and Verasity will be able to protect those. Like, there is a patent going through to stop other companies from doing what these guys do. They are nailing it, and we're so early in this project. Fair play to those who've been staking for ages as well. Phenomenal APYs available in the VRA wallet. I haven't got mine in there currently because I have them in the exchange ready for this run. I will do it in the bear market if it's still available, because around March time they may reduce it, they may remove it, I do not know, but every single time they tend to do either reduction or they pause it for a bit, so keep that in mind. But for me personally, I've got them in the exchange. I could move them across, but for me it's like 2,000 to send it over and then another 700 to bring it back. I don't have gigantic bags like I'm sure many of you do out there, so I'm just thinking, well, if I put them in there, I don't think I'm going to get it back reward wise in that period of time. Obviously longevity, what I'm trying to plan to do personally is sell at the top ends of these big markets and then buy back in as we come down, so that when we're ready in maybe 24-25 era, I might have a bigger bag. We'll see, but certainly to be able to stake that in that period of time would be absolutely phenomenal. I could just sit back and watch my Verasity build every day. I think someone in the comments previously was something like, I earn like 10,000 VRA a day. I was like, what? I thought we were the whales. Obviously not. But anyway, another quick one, 150,000 followers for Verasity here. Absolutely fantastic. The momentum of Verasity is growing. The awareness is growing. I love it. I think it's a fantastic project. I think it's very unique and it's so early. And we've got the new Chief Marketing Officer here. Forgive me if I get this wrong. Mayam Mahoob, maybe. Hopefully I got that right. Let me know if I got that wrong. But there's just a nice little synopsis event from herself going through a couple of the updates on Verasity and things like that. So keep an eye out for that if you want to listen into that. There's a few links on here, and etc. And around sponsored partners of exchanges too. And yeah, again, emphasizing major brands are currently reluctant to sell their NFTs and video IP without a fraud protocol in place. Well, who deals with that? Verasity. Some fantastic things going here, guys. This community, this project keeps growing and growing and growing. The awareness keeps growing. Their opportunities, their technology, everything is improving all the time. It really, truly is something. Do your own research, of course. None of this is financial advice, but it's definitely something I feel that you should have in your portfolio, whether it be short term or long term. It is fantastically unique and exceptional at what it does. So now we've covered a few of those updates. Let's go into the chart and see where we are based on the previous video. So I've cut out a few items here because I wanted to keep clarity and more to the point in this particular video. I just wanted to emphasize that I've stuck this here. I believe that we might get Veracity to around I reckon it'll get to 20 cents. I think it might just pick it over. Okay, let us know in the comments below what you think your price prediction is. Some people have thrown out $1. That's an exceptionally bullish answer. Is it possible? Of course, potentially, if big awareness comes in and big projects come in, but I'm going with data. I'm going with a realistic thought process. And come on, guys, let's be realistic here. You would be, I don't know where you purchased your Veracity, but even if you were purchasing it right now, you would snap my hand off to say a guaranteed 20 cents, would you not? I would. And that from that point, I think, even from these low points around July, early July, if you got in at these times, I think I got them slightly lower than this at some point, I can't remember, then you're going to love that, because that's a phenomenal increase of percentages. Obviously, this only takes us up to the current point, but even to then it was 570%. So, imagine the gains of getting in that low and selling up maybe even 10 cents, guys. Like, we haven't even broken the proper barriers yet. The highest we got was 5 cents, and that was phenomenal. Imagine if we break 10 cents, how amazing that would feel. But I think we could get to 21. Let us know what you think in the comments below. So on the way down, we had a few buy points in. We hit every single one of them, including the one we put down here. How good is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buy points, guys. Maybe we've got a crystal ball. We didn't go any lower than that. I did wonder about potentially putting one lower, but I thought, come on, Veracity, come on, you can't keep going down like this. There is a bearish momentum still. This MACD is still widening. I'm just going to bring it into your attention here. And the sell volume has gone a pale red today. So are we finally seeing a bit of a reduction in the sell-off? That would be fantastic, wouldn't it? We had extremely bullish momentum today, and I did mention that earlier in the video. So let's take a look at that. So from this low point yesterday of 0.026, so 2.6 cents, we rose from that over the next 24 hours into today to have a high of 0.032, so 3.2 cents. That is a 24% increase in that 24-hour period. Absolutely fantastic move from them. It has retraced a bit, so actually we could argue that it's around 20%. I'd take that all day long. 20% increase in 24 hours. Thank you very much. So that is great to see. What are we looking for with Veracity right now? First of all, we're looking for a close above this 2.9 cents. Okay, we could call it free, but I think it's quite amazing really, because that's quite a significant space difference. So 2.8 cents is actually a marker, I think, if I'm more accurate. I think it's 2.9 actually, yeah. So we're looking for a 2.9 close today. Why? Because we had resistance here on the 20th. It dropped down to a low of 2.83. We had the close yesterday at 2.7. So we're very much around this key area here. If we can close above this over the next 24, 48 hours, we need to have 2 or 3 of them, in my opinion. First of all, to confirm this new area of support, which we did test around here on the 27th, 28th of August as well, and it did reject both of those as well. We could have a new confirmed support level here, guys. That's not to say it won't come down here. It could be another Bitcoin nonsense day. Who knows? And if it did that, if you had the anticipation of what happened on the 20th, we went from a high of 3.6 cents to 2.8 cents. So obviously about what, 8 cents drop. So that is a possibility again. If Bitcoin decides to do that on another profit taking, that could take us down to here. If I just move these ones back down to here, let's just take a look at that Bitcoin one. So that was a 22% drop. Imagine if we had that again. Let's take that that principle and put it down here. Let's say we, not necessarily right in the next 4 hours, but if that did happen again, it would take us down to this support line of around 2.4. So keep that in mind as a possibility. Okay, the RSI is not out of the woods yet. It's still quite low in terms of 47. We did have a drop down to 41. In my mind, that is extremely low. It's a credible buying opportunity, and well done to those that did. As we mentioned just a minute ago, you did get a good, nice, healthy 20% gain from yesterday. Is it over? No, I don't think we can confirm that until maybe 40 hours time. So let's do another Verasity video at the end of this week. It's a nice buy-in volume today. The pale on the histogram on the red is coming in. If we get 2 or 3 more days of that in a nice tail off, like basically a mirror of this we want to see, but in a nice pale red, we might start seeing, for the first time since 7th of September, a pale green move. I do anticipate that to happen either way anyway by the end of September, and then we can start pushing this project back up to these previous numbers of around 5 cents. I anticipate that hopefully happening maybe around that sort of maybe 3rd week of October. I think it's going to be a long slog unless Verasity come out with some big gigantic news. I think we're going to gradually mature this chart in a natural format, which is always nice and healthy, along the way. A couple of more things before we wrap this up. Make sure when we're on that upside, take profits along the way, especially when you see things like this, because eventually, even though the stagger down and the uprise, it will come back down at some point to retest lower areas that it's completely gone past. Okay, because then you can accumulate some really nice numbers. You may just be accumulating drops, and that's absolutely fine for your strategy as well. But for those that are trying to not use their own capital, again, not financial advice, just opinion and what I'm trying to do on some of these. So we've had 5 buy-in orders from when I sold some up here. We've had the bit of retracement down to here, and it's been great opportunities on the way down, percentage allocations to accumulate more Veracity without me having to use my own money, which is fantastic. If you're cash rich, fantastic. Go and buy the drops. Some aren't, some want to do it this way. So we're just trying to cover all bases for all our fans out there of Veracity. Weekly, 90% down. That does entail, I think, 2 Bitcoin nonsense days. 1 month, 15% down, understandable, same principle. But on the 3 month and the 6 month, very nice green. Year to date, 6,800% up. We're in a neutral mentality, as we pretty much emphasized just a minute ago. If we can get 2-3 days of closure above that line, as we mentioned, we can try and push again back up here across that 3.2 cent mark. That's a critical area. I'll make sure we note that 3.2 cents is our target, guys. We need to get to that and get a close over that number over 2 or 3 days time, and then we can push up 3.6 maybe. And we do see a lot of movement around that 3.8. So they're targets. In fact, what I'm going to do, guys, I'm just going to draw this in here to remember that for the next video, okay? So we're just going to put a nice little line here, so we can remind ourselves that this is our target area to try and smash through, as is this area here around 3.2, 3.3. Okay, so let's review that in a few days' time. This is the movement we want to see, okay, to confirm new support lines and the push up to a more bullish momentum. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Let us know if you found it informative or not by smashing that like button. Make sure you subscribe if you've not done so already. And we will see you and Veracity on the moon. Take care and bye-bye.